Hey, Wages World, what is crack-a-lackin'? Hope everybody's doing good. Hey guys, we've had this solar storm is now hitting. Check it out. Check that out. It's already hitting already. It's hitting early. It's hitting a little bit stronger. Please share this out, guys. That's what that note there says. I will be getting rid of that. I actually left that on the stream for about 15 minutes at the beginning of the video last time on accident. Thank you for whoever pointed that out, by the way. Okay, now we also got this, guys. This is the most updated SDO imaging we have. As you can see, the sun is still flaring. It's still erupting. We actually had a faint one down here that didn't involve a flare, I don't think. I think it was just a CME eruption. And we'll take a deeper look here. You'll be able to see the corona kind of get a little hazy and kind of puff out into space. I'm not sure if that's going to hit us or not. Right here, this is what is most likely hitting us now. And let me tell you what I'm talking about here, and I'll go a little bit more in detail. That was that bigger blast that I showed you guys the other day down here. But there was one prior to that was kind of a halo signature that I think could have been what's hitting us now. I'm not sure. So we're going to kind of dive into that. Also, guys, fireball reports. They're still coming in. They are a little sporadic right now. I'm not really sure exactly if they're going to be still increasing. I'm sure we're going to be ended up into another meteor shower very shortly. But this comet here, guys, is going to be good space weather news. This is pretty awesome. This thing is like increased in brightness. You know, well, Dr. Tony Phillips, I think he said exponentially in the past 3 days. It's pretty impressive, if you ask me. And it's only going to get more bright. And it's already living up or even exceeding the expectations of what we would be expecting from this. So, with that being said, this is going to be one of those things where we're just going to pay attention to it, and it's not going to affect like anything going on here on our planet. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that is not what's going on here. I'm not saying this is going to cause any issues. What I'm saying is this is very cool. Okay, and it is something we want to talk about. It's pretty awesome stuff. Now, if that was on the right orbital path, depending upon if it was inside Earth's orbit, in other words, if it's well, I'll tell you what we'll do with that is I will definitely, let's go over here to a different model so I can show you guys what I'm actually talking about, instead of just trying to explain it with words. Okay, yeah, we'll use this one. Okay, you guys see, this is the top-down version. Well, let's use the side cut. Okay, so you got this is Earth right here, right? First off, this is showing a CME that could be hitting us later. It would be a few days from now. But what I want you guys to concentrate on is the actual orbital lines that they have on this model. So the side cut, you got to pretend you're just standing out to the side of Earth. Okay, and the center point here is the sun. So if this comet is on an elliptical orbit, depending on its angle, you know, any kind of debris, if it was on the outside, right? Say this comet was way up here. Just kind of picture that in your head, right? And it's orbiting the sun. What's it doing right here? It's crossing Earth's orbital path. Okay, you see that? So if there's any debris from that, then you know, it kind of goes out here and does this little slingshot move. And a lot of times comets, if they get out far enough, if they're big enough or strong enough and the sun doesn't have as much of an effect on them, they can actually leave two debris trails through our orbit. They can come out on this side and then go down here and do the same as it loops back around. Okay, and it just keeps doing that. And guys, typically a comet, if it's in orbit around the sun, eventually the sun will eat it. Okay, it's drawing closer to Earth. It's much like our satellites. Guys, our satellites are up there. They're falling at all times. Okay, so there's a lot of forces being taken into consideration there, and they put them in a certain orbit. So what they're doing They're basically using that gravitational speed to keep it in its orbit. It's constantly falling towards our planet. All right, just so you guys understand that. Those are satellites. Now the comet's kind of doing something similar with the sun. So what I'm saying is, if this is in a vertical, say that it's in a vertical orbit around the sun, and I'm not saying that it is. Judging by this, it kind of looks like it might be, but I don't know. I'd have to research that. I'm really not sure yet. But let me take you back here. So if it's going straight up and down, notice what's happening here. Because it's inside of our orbit, we will never see debris from that. It's in too much of an elliptical plane. We never pass through its tail. Okay? So this is why we pay attention to bigger comets, because especially when they're, if they are in a path where they'll cross over our orbital line. So I just want to make sure you guys have an understanding of that. I'm okay, Mercurian. Let me just let you guys. My wife came home from work today. She had to take something over to my mom and dad's house, and my dad was at the hospital. I guess he was working, and he took a drink out of his beverage. I guess I don't know if it was Coke or whatever he was drinking, but he swallowed a bee. So that is just what it is, right? Yeah. And so he ended up at the hospital. He's back home now, though, so everything's okay. But I could use some prayers for my dad. That would be awesome if you guys could do that for me. Maybe put some ones in the chat for prayers. Maybe we can do that. Let's light that up if you would. I would really, truly appreciate that. If your thing is sending good thoughts and stuff like that, do that. So, yeah. And I just got through talking to my dad, so I am a little... I'm trying to get refocused. Okay, so I'm focused. Okay, but I just want to know let you guys know that that's why. So thank you for asking, though. That guys, that's because we are a family here. Nobody, if you go to somebody else's channel, they would never ever understand or know that I actually was a little off. It's amazing to me that you guys pick up on that stuff right away with me, because you guys know me, right? So yeah, we have so many mods. It's hard to say hi. Yeah, it is. Guys, I have a lot of mods here. I'll just leave it at that. And you guys have all earned your wrench. Okay, you continue to earn that wrench, and yes, we have issues from time to time, but that's what families do, right? It's just the nature of the beast here. And that's what happens. So, that's what I would say on that end of it. But thank you guys for all that. I really do appreciate that. E equals MC squared, baby. Love it. What's up, GJ? Okay, so, back to space weather. Now, I got on here, and I was getting ready to start up, make my thumbnail and things, and I seen this. Okay, we were in a geomagnetic storm. I was not expecting us to be into that yet. I was expecting to see it, well, not there, here. Okay, that right there these are 3-hour time blocks. So you got 3, 6, 9, 12, and then it would go to 3 o'clock. It wasn't supposed to hit until 3 p.m. on the 25th. Okay, so we're talking 12 hours from now. And this hit 3 hours ago. So, 15 hours ago. So, the chances of what I'm talking about is, well, the difference of what I'm talking about here is there's a couple possibilities. Either this particular part got here earlier, right? Or we got hit with a different CME or some sort of space weather. Okay? So with that being said, I actually went back and I was looking through some stuff, and I can't see anything different other than this CME that they were, forecasting to get hit, us get hit with. Maybe it just arrived early. And that would also explain why it hit harder, okay? Because we did get to for about an hour. See, if you go to 5.667 here on this index, okay, this index right here, it's closer to 6, so they kind of round that up, right? So if we hit a 6, that's a G2 storm. They got us officially right now to G1, and the reason why is because these are 3-hour averages over here. This is the German website that I take you guys to often, okay? Here, I'll just change that to English so we can read it. But that's what's happening right now. Now, it has subsided quite a bit just within the last hour, okay? And this is typical with some of the things that we see. It's not always 100% there that it's going to do that every time. But, yeah. So, yeah. Now, so what can we expect, right? And I know that's what everybody's kind of asking right now, and I'm asking the same thing, to be honest with you. I just started looking at the space weather tools, and first off, and right up in the front here, this is Soho, right? This is that right there, and I'm going to stop it when we get there. I'll pause it just so you guys can see it. Okay, now if you remember, when I was reporting on this a couple days ago, I told you guys, hey, it looks like it's got a southerly component to it. That's most of it's going south of us, but they were showing kind of like a side or a glancing blow. But I also made the comment that thing was moving fast. So if you time it out, this is roughly 2 days ago. Okay, maybe a little bit longer, not much more. Okay. So if it was moving a little faster than what they typically do, it would make sense that this is here now, okay? Because, you know, on average, guys, if you wanted to pick one number, 3 days is an average, okay? That's kind of what we consider an average time for a CME to get here. That's a solar blast from the sun, plasma, all of that, right? And they're charged particles. They are not light. It's not X-ray. The flares get here in 8 minutes. I can't get on here quick enough to even warn you about a flare, nor would I even do that, because the flares that we get, unless it's like a big, massive X-class flare, I have plenty of time to come on here and tell you about it, okay? So just understand that. But we got to make sure that we're, you know, reporting on the correct stuff the right way. So with this right here, it does look like it was moving fast. And I even said it back then, okay, a couple days ago. Now, I didn't think it was moving so fast it was going to like cause us big problems, and it's not. It's not causing any kind of big problems. So I would just, you know, kind of say that. But you can definitely see how it's spread out, how wide it gets, okay? Now, even the CME tracker itself, look how wide it's making this thing. It's almost 180 degrees CME. When they do anything over 120, they will map it down here in red because it's the biggest that they, you know, that's the threshold. So it can be wider than that as it spreads out. Matter of fact, a lot of them end up being bigger than 180 degrees. Okay? So, yeah. You guys have to remember that Voyager a while back got hit with a CME from the sun, obviously, or an ICME. This is where I want to be technically correct, because an ICME is interplanetary coronal mass ejection, which means that it left the sun out into the solar system, okay? Now, with that being said, there's also something called just a CME, which is a term that everybody uses as a blanket for like a solar storm. It's a coronal mass ejection. So what does that actually mean? You know, a lot of people don't even really know what that means. Well, you see the haze look here? That's the corona. It's the atmosphere of the sun. It's mass from inside that corona, which is charged particles. It has weight, okay? It has all of that. But weight is relative to what planet you're standing on and by what gravitational force is being applied from whatever object, right? So we can't just say, hey, well, that weighs this much. You can't do that because that's not how it works. So what I'm saying is that it takes a certain amount of escape speed is what they call it, to leave the sun. So in the corona, we got all those charged particles. When they erupt out, that's a CME, right? But if the sun doesn't let go of it, in other words, we can see eruptions kind of like right there. You see how a lot of that went right back to the sun? Well, sometimes all of it goes back down to the sun. It just couldn't escape. The sun recaptured it because of magnetics and gravity, okay? And other forces that are being applied here, okay? So a CME is nothing more than an eruption in the corona of the sun, okay? So when they go out interplanetary, that means it left the sun. It got to that velocity and shot out, okay? So in other words, a while back, guys, Voyager was hit. And that's significant because that thing is out past Pluto, okay? So the sun, yeah, the sun affects a lot of things. So we're just going to leave it at that. Now, did it damage the satellite? I don't know. I don't know. It's not really even a satellite. It's a probe, right? It's out there taking pictures. And I would think that most people would agree that they didn't think it was going to last this long. Or at least they didn't think we'd be able to communicate with it this long. And it's out there, still taking pictures. It's crazy. Okay, so this is what's our magnetosphere, right? So our magnetosphere is created by space weather and our magnetic field. Okay, it takes them both, right? So let me just say that. Now, give me a second, guys. I gotta get something to drink. Okay, I'm back. All right. Sorry about that. Wow. I didn't want you guys to have to hear me cough like that. That was woo-wee. I guess I'm having sympathy pains for my dad, right? I don't know. Anyway, so the sun's off to the left, and we're sending space weather to us. So what we're seeing here, guys, is, the creation of a magnetosphere, right? We have a heliosphere, too, which is the sun's same thing, right? So space weather from the sun and other places, yes, we get cosmic rays and all that. When it interacts with our magnetic field, it creates this magnetosphere. And this is created from the sun because you see how it's blowing this way, right? Left to right. You can see these waves coming in. This is speed and speed only. I want to make sure you guys understand that. Only speed. That's all this is showing you. Is the velocity of the charged particles. That's all that this is showing you. It's not showing you how many of them that there are, which would be basically the density, okay, which is this one. And it's not showing you the result of some of that, the magnetic pressure. That's what this one does. These other two are showing you exactly that specific thing also. This is showing you density, not speed. This is showing you magnetic pressure, not density or speed. So, with that being said, let me just say this. It doesn't look like this thing is moving breakneck speed, okay? So, whatever has caused this to get to G2, I'm not really 100% sure if it is this particular eruption. Was it this one? Here, we'll just go back here. Well, see, there was an eruption there too. We had quite a few eruptions on the backside. But right there is where the satellite's at. Okay, it's 1,000,000 miles closer to the sun than what we are. Stays in an orbit right out in front of us, always looking at the sun. What's interesting is over here at Seeds, they haven't updated any data for a couple days now. I'm not sure what's happening with that. It's most likely just a website issue. We can still look at this data. Okay. Matter of fact, one of the easiest places to look at it is right here. This is NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center. This is the same view as this, but this is zoomed in, and this one's a more wide shot, okay? Yes, that's a planet. I'm not sure which one. I'd have to go look. As a matter of fact, let's just look right here. Most likely that's Mercury, guys. Okay? Here's our planet. Here's Mercury. It's over here right now. So it would definitely match up. Just so you know. I don't want to go too far in the weeds there. But this is zoomed in. And then this is kind of zoomed out. This is LASCO C3. LASCO C2 is a zoomed in version. LASCO C3 is the zoomed out, more wider angle. Now I want you guys to pay attention to what's happening here. That looked to be 3 different eruptions. Okay? And I was looking at this a few minutes ago. And let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. Okay? You guys will be able to see it as soon as I point it out. Watch, there's the first one. There's the second one. And then there's a third one. See that? So you got 1, 2, 3. Bam, bam, bam. Now, there was one that I noticed on SDO, which is this image here. That was down here. Now, we'll see if we can't catch it again. Let me just do this. I'm going to pause it. Grab the slider. Okay, there it is. Watch right here. I thought it was over here, but it was actually here. So watch what happens right here. You're not going to see anything really bright. What you're going to see is some hazy little puff. Watch. Okay, there was one right there. And see how that's growing? There was another one, right? And we'll see the first one here. Watch. There's one. And then there's 2. Right? You can see how that left the sun. You see it kind of getting hazy right there? It's hard to see. Right? But that was the CME. Now, is that going to hit us? It doesn't look to. It could. It's moving extremely slow. I'll give it that. I mean, that was a long time for something to erupt. And just kind of... See, when I go faster, you guys see how you can see it better? When I go like that? Sometimes the opposite's true, just so you know. But also, pay attention over here. We had a flare that was basically on the backside. Okay, now we got quite a few X-rays from that, but a lot of that was still on the backside, so we didn't get all the X-rays from that. So most likely that flare was bigger than what the data will show, because anything on the backside of the sun is not being collected. So if we can't see it, the X-ray is not being collected in the data. Anything that happens on the front side of the sun that's Earth directed, as far as flares, if it's on the front side of the sun, we get 100% of whatever X-rays we're going to get from it. Now, if it happens right on the limb, which is the horizon basically, the edge of the disk here, sometimes some of that X-ray is behind the sun. So instead of coming in at like a, well, let's back that back off. Instead of coming in at, let's just say, I don't know, an M3 flare, maybe it comes in at an M9 or an X1. You see what I'm saying there, guys? And I've explained that before. But the sun itself is actually blocking the X-rays from getting here. So that's something that happens that we have to pay attention to. But yeah. So let's see here. Let's get a roll call in there if you could. I would much appreciate that as I keep moving here. I would love to know your guys' region. Just let me know your region. That's all I'm looking for. Oh, and by the way, guys, Trinity's going to be going live here at 11 o'clock. Trinity, Red Pill, Blue Pill, hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Can one of my mods grab her link and throw it in there? The link to her live stream. So, yeah. Blocking. What are you talking about there, Mercuriana? So about the sun blocking the X-rays? Yeah, it did. It blocked some of it for sure. Oregon, UK, love my piece from across the pond. Texas, Maryland, good to see you. On the river in Chattanooga, baby, Tennessee. Oh yeah. Hey, Ron. Dennis, St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, Idaho Keith, where are you from? Why the sun blocks it? Because the data collection Mercuriana is here. Okay, it's from our perspective, so we can't even see the backside of the sun from over here. So that whatever's collecting the data can't even see it. So the sun's just just because of the way the sun rotates, and from our position in space, it's as if we can't even see it. So just pretend that if something happens on the backside of the sun, we don't get to see it at all. So it doesn't come in at all with anything. But the second we can see any of it, we're going to get some X-ray from it. So that's what I'll say. Hopefully I didn't, West Virginia, baby. What's up, Mark? North Central Florida, Carolyn, Ashley McCormick. What's up, girl? Hey, good to see you. Ain't seen you in a minute. Down there in Missouri, baby. That's a good state, guys. If you guys never been to Missouri, you need to get there. There's a lot of cool outdoor stuff to do there. There really is. We vacationed there a couple years ago. Took my daughter, and we went to the Arch and all that, and ended up going to, where did we stay at? I forget, but we had a really good time. So anyway, but again, guys, that was like 1, 2, 3 CMEs. So I don't know if any of that's going to hit us. I can't give you 100% on that. We're going to wait till tomorrow to give you a better idea. Now, this comet. Okay, this comet is, yeah. I would highly encourage you guys to come over here and check it out. Please take a second to hit that oh, thank you, main girl. You're awesome. Appreciate you. 100% appreciate you. That is very cool. Guys, what she just did there, she used her free super chat. Okay, that super chat is there. For anybody that's a member, you get 1 free super chat a month. That's something YouTube has done. I need to look into it too. I think they let me donate 1 membership a month. So I might just do that. Okay, yes, thank you for clarifying that, miss, for her. Or if it's a guy. OG, she's 100% right. And by the way, that blue Kool-Aid face looks good on you, miss. YouTube will flag it if it's got too many emojis. They consider it spam, and they get it out. It's not good. It can cause problems. So that's why YouTube actually holds those for review, and the moderator has to actually release that comment. A lot of people don't know that. If you put 1 or 2 emojis, it'll let it go through there. But if there's I think there's more than 4, I think YouTube's algorithm catches it and it flags it for a moderator to approve. A lot of times we go ahead and approve them. I mean, because if it ain't nothing that's too crazy, but if it's like like 30 of them, yeah, most of the time they get erased. Hey, J-Poss, good to see you, bud. I don't know, Idaho. I didn't see that. Was there? We can go look. That's a good question, Keith. Let's go look at that real quick. Well, let's finish the comment here first. Guys, this thing's going to, as it gets closer to the sun, we may get that light scattering effect. They call it forward scattering. What's happening is, guys, the debris and stuff around the comet itself, as the sun starts to hit it, the light, if it's in a specific direction, it will scatter the light our direction. So it'll make this comet brighter. They're saying that this has got a really good possibility of being a naked eye daytime comet. Okay, so what that means is, depending on where it's at, and where you're at in the world, it's going to, it'll show up in the daytime, but my guess is at night, this thing's going to be extremely bright. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. I don't know, Keith. I hadn't heard anything. I hadn't gotten any alerts, but we're going to take a look at that. That's a good question. Let's let's go ahead and take a look at USGS. We'll get an answer real quick. It would be odd if we did, because I hadn't heard anything. Yeah, I don't think so, bud. If it wasn't nothing significant. Because, yeah, the biggest quakes we got in Japan today are 4.5 and 4.6. And guys, they do that stuff in their sleep over there. That's that's not even, for over there, that's not newsworthy. Over here, we get a 4.6 somewhere in the middle of the country. Oh man, people are waking up their grandmas and everything. Just saying. Over there, guys, they're grabbing their skateboards and they're going outside hoping to have some fun. So that's just how it works. But yeah, it's kind of like living in the Midwest and trying to catch tornadoes. Nobody else understands that but us over here. You know, especially if you live in the Midwest. Most people live in the Midwest aren't even scared of that kind of stuff. But if you live in the Midwest, like I said, you're not really scared of it. But if you're outside the Midwest, you think people are crazy going out there, getting in their cars, trying to chase these big windbags, trying to blow people off the road. You know, especially if you live overseas. I hear a lot of people live overseas not quite understand why we even do that. The biggest reason for people to understand that, I'm a weather junkie also. Okay. I love weather of all kinds. I used to be deathly afraid of thunderstorms to the point where it would just scare me. As an adult, I would, because when I first got started, me and my wife bought a trailer. We lived in a trailer for 3 years. Those 3 years, anytime there was like severe storms coming, I would actually take my wife and my oldest son, and we would go sleep at my mom and dad's house. Had to go back home to mommy and daddy's when the storm was coming. Yeah. That was 30 years ago. But now, guess what? Man, I am out there in that stuff as soon as I can get there. I love it. I don't know how I kicked that fear, but I did. But the reason why people storm chase, yes, there is some excitement involved there. And yes, there's some entertainment value watching it and doing it. But the biggest reason is, guys, they want to try to help people get a more warning. They want to try to increase warning time. So, yeah. Okay. So, what time is it? Yeah. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Vicky. Good to see you. Hey, Dennis, have you seen Miss D running around anywhere? Hey, Jennifer. Good to see you. I ain't seen you in a minute. I think I seen you in here yesterday for a little while, but I wasn't able to say hi to you. Jonathan, what's happening? See here, think. What's going on? Virginia. Yeah, Jennifer, Reed Timmer, guys. If you guys don't know who Reed Timmer is, that is such a great observation there, Jennifer. I'm glad you said that, because Reed Timmer is OG, man. You guys want storm chasing? That's who you go to. That man, I swear, he's like I don't even know, man. I think he farts tornadoes sometimes. I mean, honestly, that dude is just crazy. Crazy good at catching them things. And he catches big ones. He's in that vehicle called the Dominator, and he actually drives into these tornadoes. And, you know, like the new movie Twister, they had those augers on the outside of the truck that dug into the ground when they were there. Well, Reed's vehicle, it's actually spikes. And then, yes, they push a button, and these spikes go down into the ground to hold the car down. They look like tanks. But, man, I tell you, they get some really good data. And I guarantee you the warning time from severe thunderstorm warnings and tornadoes has been improved because of his data. Not let alone the rest of the community. Anyway, sorry. I got off of space weather and went to weather there, right? Okay, so this is the actual raw data, guys. We look for -6 on the BZ. -6 is, again, it's just the magnetic positioning. When we're in a negative position, we get to a -6 or even greater. The magnetic fields inside the CMEs and solar wind and all that kind of stuff, we couple to it. So it's able to draw stuff in. The more we couple, the more magnetic fields we can couple to, the stronger the stuff is. So that's why we look for -6. Okay? I get asked that question all the time. Yeah, weather watcher, yeah, for sure. Yeah, hey Kristen, good to see you. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. That's a good observation though, Vicky. And that's why they have to have a whole community of people chasing them. She says, actually, I'll just highlight it so you guys know what I'm talking about. The comment here. If I can get to it. Vicky says she didn't see him in the one in her area. That's why it takes a whole team. Like if they're having a big super outbreak of stuff, you can only be in one place at one time. And it definitely, he got one of the best footages from a drone. Um, One of the craziest tornado videos I've ever seen. It truly is something inspiring. It's amazing that he was even there. But anyway, the -6 here, guys, is what we look for in a threshold. So when we start coupling to all that stuff, the solar storm gets stronger. That's just what it is. Now, right now, we are not in any kind of geomagnetic storm. As I was doing this video, we peaked out and came down off of it. Okay? So, but it does look like it might be going on its way back up. So we'll keep an eye on this. But what I want you guys to do, and I will be showing some Aurora photography. I had just went to my email. I haven't looked at it in a couple days. And I went over there and I seen some Aurora pics in my email. I want to say thank you to all you guys sending me those. I will show them, I promise. That's something that I want to show everybody. So thank you for anybody that takes the time to send me their personal Aurora photography. But check this out, guys. This is tonight. This is tomorrow night's Aurora forecast. They are forecasting Aurora for the next couple nights. So, guys, if you guys live in the northern tier here in the United States, obviously Alaska, we know that. I mean, heck, just about every night they get Aurora up there. But if you guys are down here, North Dakota, Minnesota, even South Dakota, Idaho, Keith, if you're up there in the north, grab your camera. Washington, Oregon, and guys, yes, cracks can open up anywhere in our magnetic field. And right now, like I told you guys yesterday, Aurora love equinoxes. In other words, they love fall, they love spring, right around the equinox. Cracks open up easier. We're in a position to really take in these highly charged particles, and they will excite the oxygen and the nitrogen molecules. That's where you get your green and red Aurora from. So, that's why. And right now, this is what we're seeing currently. North and South Pole. Yes, for those that don't know, the South Pole gets Aurora too. Okay? This is their indice that they use here with the KP, right? So for whatever KP we're at, they're telling you what kind of Aurora we should expect to see. So, yeah. If I could, guys, could somebody drop Trinity's link in there again? She's going to be doing her show here, right now. So if you guys could, I'm getting ready to end anyway, guys. So just so you know, but I'll try to keep you guys updated if I can get a mod to drop Trinity's link in there again. And one more thing before everybody takes off, could you guys please let's get some more ones in the chat for everybody that needs prayers. My dad and everybody else here that needs them. Mist is fighting some things. A lot of people are, okay? So, there you go. There's some ones. Let's get some ones in there, guys. I appreciate all you guys. We will be doing another members-only stream. Thanks to anybody that's became a member, donated memberships. Beepquake donated some yesterday. So did Aaron, I believe. And I think Planet Hermit did, too. And I got some super chats yesterday, too. I can't remember exactly who. I'll try to go back and get those and give you guys a second shout out. But hey, there's Trinity. Thank you, Miss. You rock for real. That is her link to her video she's doing. So go over and check her out, and let's go support. Okay. That's what we do, right? We gotta support each other. We don't get anything. Yeah, we're gonna show that one. Mooshy wooshy. I like that one. For one time I'll let spam happen, it's in something like that. Hey, Stephen A., good to see you. Seeking Truth, good to see all you guys. Truly is. Thank you, Ilea. Matter of fact, we'll just put that right there on the screen. How about that? All right, guys. Hey, Letty L. Good thoughts, good prayers, whatever you guys do. Please send them to everybody that needs them. Sometimes, guys, if I don't know who to pray for, I just pray for everybody. That's what I do. It's good to see you, Dennis. I didn't see if you answered my question, but I haven't seen Miss D in about a week. I just want to make sure she's okay. I mean, she ain't got to come here and watch. Back at you, Virginia. Thank you. I just want to make sure she's okay. That's all. Well, thank you, Robbie. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Those guys, just those little comments like that, they make it all worth it for me. I mean, I'm serious when I say that. I know it sounds kind of cliche or whatever. Robbie says, love this channel. Whenever I hear stuff like that, it does. It wipes away a lot of the negative stuff. Hey, Surgery, good to see you. Thank you for being here, brother. But yeah. Okay, guys. Hey, Skywalker. Skywalker, that's killing me. Yeah, if you could, please, Dennis, go over and check her out. But if anybody hasn't heard from Miss D, please let me know. I'm actually a little worried about her. So, hey, Angela, thank you for becoming a member there, right on the end. Thank you. I will be doing a members only here. Well, if you're orange, you were already a member. So thank you for renewing. I think that's probably what that was. I thought you were already a member. But anyway, we will be doing a members only here in the next couple days. So, hey, Michigan Lifestyle. Angela Boom. Well, thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. Jennifer, thank you. I'm glad to see you here the past couple shows. I'm glad you were able to make it. Idaho. Back at you. Keith, you're awesome, brother. Yeah, I know, Vicky. It's why I have to sit here and ask about it. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and end the show. Guys, get over and check out Trinity. Mark Fugel will be going live here, too. He's been going live a little bit later. You're welcome, GJ. Skywatch Time Lapse. Do you have a channel, Skywatch? I think you might. I'll check after this. If you do, I'll go check it out and see what we get. See if you got anything going on over there. We might send some people your way. All right, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid. Josie, before I get off here, there you go. I just caught that. Thank you. Thank you for the gift of membership, or the renewal of the membership, Josie. Appreciate you.